Hi, this is KevTarot, and so basically what we're going to discuss today is some of the things that we may want to take note of when you're making a salvo. So, salvo 101, or rather anything. Yep. So if you like this video, you can like it, or you can subscribe, and you can offer more points to enlighten the audiences, those who view the videos, and enlighten me all together. So salvos. Firstly, hardwood or softwood. Usually this would be the choice because this is too soft and would usually break under pressure. So what kind of pressure are there? So compression and the tension at the back of the bowl. What's the back of the bowl? What's the tension? What's compression? We will explain it here. So in the bowl, you can see. So for example, this is a string. This area facing the user would be the belly. This, the part facing the opponent or the target, this is the back. So if this back of the bowl needs to bend backwards like this, and not just one time, but many times. So you usually want to know about the modulus of rupture and the modulus of elasticity. So MOR or MOE. So the ratio between the two, either MOU or MOR or vice versa, will get you the ratio. So this, you can find this thing on Wood Bowl Index. Just Google it up and you will know. With iron birch having somewhere between 13 plus, yeah. So this is out. This is the material with which we will use to make a bow. This is number one. And number two, to support the back of the bow, the material to support the back, or rather add a backing to the bow. Usually they would use rawhide. They would use optic fiber, tips, or they will use various other reinforcement materials. So why? Firstly, reinforcement. Secondly, safety. So even if the bow breaks, doesn't snap onto the user. You can search on YouTube and you will find a lot of bow when they break. those bow breaking moments, it will hit the user really hard. And reinforcement would mean that if there were defects like knots or little cracks that fellow bowyers do not want to give up on because the rest of the material is so damn good, at least it would increase the chances. So increase the chances like this of making a successful bow. Yep. Number 3, bowstrings. You can use Dacron 55 and various bowstrings like primitive hunting or shatterproof archery. These shops give Dacron 55, or this more primitively, they will give bowstrings made from deer back sinews. Yep. This is just one of the many models. You would have to consult experts on this. So whether the bowstrings are too strong for the bow body or too weak for the bow body to project the projectile, which are the arrows, these are important. Number 4, well, I'm not saying these in chronological order because I do not plan for my videos. Number 4, what you want to take note is when you're shaving, you shave only, and I mean only, the belly of the bow. Yep. The back that's facing the opponent, you do not touch them at all. You need to keep them in its pristine condition or at the strongest, highest strength, because it will need to withstand the pulling back. While the belly needs to be slightly weaker to withstand the compression, tension and compression. Next, when you're making the bow itself, you have to take note of so you need to take note of the dimensions and tillering thereafter. That's the last point. So dimensions meaning how wide, how thick the width, and lastly the length of your bow. When you make a shaving error or tillering error, and it's harder to maneuver with it. So the thickness, if it's too thin, well, common sense, it might break or rupture. As for the width, the smaller the width for your limbs, like the thinner it is in terms of the width, means the width here and not the thickness. The thinner it is, fires more rapidly. The thicker it is, more stable but slower firing rate. So these are the dimensions. As for the tillering, you will want to take note of the following. So point number 1 will be floor tillering. basically the bowl. This is your handle. These are the two sides. So you want to bend it as the word says. You bend it on the floor with your arms here and here. Yep. And then you will see your compared bend at both sides. So if one bends more than the other by too much, you want to shave and reduce the limb at the belly of that place where it bends less. So bends less, you need to the particular area that's straighter. Okay? Sorry. Yeah, so it's here. So it bends less when you tiller on the floor. Then where it is, you mark it down. Then you shave the particular area that's straighter. One thing to note for all three kinds of tillering is that you got to when you shave, when you work fast, your chances of making a mistake is higher. But when you do it slow, yes, it might affect the progress, but it gives you more room to adjust. So once you shave, don't shave too much when you want to recheck. So rechecking bend or tiller the bow 7 to 8 times to get the body used to the tiller, or rather the new thickness. What I mean by thickness is not THICC but THICKNESS, because there is a particular area that's straighter. You bend and tiller a few times, 7 to 8 times, to get the body used to the new thickness that you shaved. Then you can get the true bending angle, and then you re-identify where the spots that bend less. Yep. So next we have long string. So you can get this at Shatterproof Archery, or you can just buy somewhere to get a bowstring that's longer in terms of the inches of the length than your bow. Then you would just use, this is the bow body, and so when it's here, it's not pulled down, but when you do this, sorry, I'm not an art teacher. So you compare these to these areas, and you see where that bends less, and then you mark it down. Then you shave the particular areas that's straighter. Then you bend and tiller, or you pull the strings on the shelf or something to get the body used to the new thickness, so that you can see the changes. Like you can see the changes brought about by the shaving, and you get true bending angle throughout the bow body. So the third thing is the steps are the same over there, but the third type of tillering in progressive stages would be short bowstring. This would allow you to see at its nearest final form. So this is shorter. Okay? Shorter. So the steps are repeat like this, but as you get here, the amount of material you shave from the belly will get less and less. So why all this crap? That way it wouldn't rupture or break. So chances of breaking will decrease when you use it long enough. And thirdly, as a user, it makes it more user-friendly for bow users. So for archers like you guys in the video, when you pull it back, you will feel somewhere that the tension upstairs and the tension downstairs to be different, and you might not have a good feeling about it. So these are the main 3 reasons. And usually when you're done shooting and enjoying your archery, done with your archery, you will remove the bowstring, because there's this thing called setting. So setting is when the period gets long, there's a natural bend to it, even when the strings are when the bow is unstrung. So it's the curve when it's unstrung. This is due to the moisture removal. If you did not coat it with beeswax or varnish, and the bow moisture composition dries up, so giving it and sets it in the shape. Maintain with varnish or wood surfaces, wood oils or beeswax. So unstring a bow when not in use. Check for cracks on the surfaces and repair them properly, because the cracks would extend and elongate and will cause the bow to be gone. You don't want your bow to be broken, right? So check for the moisture of the bow by applying varnish or wood oil or beeswax to maintain the moisture. This is so far what I know, and yep, thank you for watching. Have a great day, have a great evening.